Hello everybody, welcome. I am Ryan Brewer of Magic Time Films, and this is something special that I'm putting together just for our Patreon subscribers. I've been thinking and promising that I was going to do something like this for a while now, and I finally had a little bit of extra free time and decided I was going to do it tonight. You'll have to please excuse, I have a cat running around right now. He's really frantic and upset because I cleaned the bathroom floor, and that's where her box is located. And now the bathroom smells different, so she's freaking out about it and running around all over the place. Anyway, what you see on your screen right here, this is the editing program that I work in. It's called Premiere Pro, and this is where I am currently working on a short film called Dead End. And this movie has actually been in production for, I want to say, I know for sure it's been over 2 years, because it was originally conceived by myself and my good friend Chris Monroe, who is also a fellow filmmaker, whom I haven't heard from in a while, so if you're watching this, Chris, get a hold of me sometime. Anyway, he co-wrote the script with me. We had decided a long time ago that we wanted to do a short zombie film, and so Dead End was the one that we came up with. And the script went through a couple of different iterations, and then eventually Chris kind of went off and did his own thing, and I think we were supposed to work on the whole movie together. We just never got around to doing it together. So I just kind of took the reins and pushed ahead with it and did it, and we got it all cast and shot with some interesting anecdotes along the way to go with that. So what you see here is the movie. It's about 7 minutes, without credits, it's about 7 minutes and 30 seconds long. And tonight you guys get a quick preview of it, which is just for Patreon subscribers. So without further ado, I give you this. I also kind of want to give you guys kind of an inside look as to how things work behind the scenes. And I refuse to advertise for Coke, so instead you get to see the name on it, Yvonne. Unfortunately, I can only capture part of my screen. I cannot capture both screens. So there's actually stuff over here that you cannot see. This right here is part of it. This is where all the footage goes right here. As you can see, I have some zombie footage, the trailer, titles, temporary stuff. It doesn't look like a lot right now, but then we get into this. When you're a filmmaker and when you're an editor, I have to go through and essentially watch each and every one of these clips to see which ones are good, which ones are bad. And you can see right now how tedious that could possibly be just by looking at the numbering. There's no specific title for the clip. I'm assuming that there's a way to not have to worry about that on professional film sets. Yeah, look at all this. This is all the assets that I used for parts of it as well. More footage, even more. This was a shoot that got split up into multiple shoots over the course of 2 years. When we first shot it, it was in July of 2016, and it was really hot, and it was a really long day. We were supposed to be filming just on the other side of the street from where I used to live here in Spearfish, and we ended up getting kicked off the land before we even got up there. We were actually below the location that we were supposed to be filming in. And we were getting set up. Well, one of our zombies was getting put into makeup, and somebody had put up an awning just to kind of block the sun because it was a really, really hot day. Which I really feel so very sorry for the zombies that day. But I'll get to that. There was never any happy medium when it came to the weather, but I'll get to that in a little bit. But anyway, long story short, somebody saw us setting up there and they thought we were camping, so they called the cops. And then the cops actually called the owner of the land. And so the cops showed up, and they didn't necessarily kick us off the land. The gal kind of told us, you do this at your own risk. So you can stay if you want, but if I get another call, then I'm going to have to come back, and then, who knows what's going to happen. I don't know if they were going to take us to jail, or if they were just going to fine us or give us a ticket or whatever, or if they were just going to, make us leave. I would assume that they were probably just going to make us leave, but we ended up leaving anyway. But so we had to find a location, essentially at the last second. And at first we were looking at these places out in the canyon, and I couldn't decide on where to go. And then somebody made the suggestion of going out to one of our zombie actors' houses, about 45 miles away. Actually, it was probably closer to 60 miles away. And so we did. We ended up going out there, and that's where we shot a pretty good chunk of footage. Not this, but we're looking like way back here. Like right here. That's basically where we're at, is here. And there you go, first little quick glimpse of the movie, and this is the opening credits that you're seeing right now. And there's Chris Monroe, as I was talking about before. But yeah, originally this, I don't even like still framing it for this, but originally this was, in the background here, was supposed to not be there. I was supposed to have somebody who was changing that, fixing it, because I wanted it to look more post-apocalyptic. And if you keep your eyes peeled, you can see people moving in the background, you can see sprinklers, things like that, which is why this clip is so very, very quick. Yeah, I didn't want to linger on it for too long because I didn't want people to start noticing the details. And you'll also notice I have it like just garbled with filters right now, trying to block out anything that could possibly be seen in the background. There's actually some interesting special effects work done here that you probably can't see unless I do this. The blood splatter back there, Summer's head basically blowing out from the gunshot, and the actual gunshot itself, which you can't see if you play back in normal. It happens way too fast. But that was, of course, again, intentional, because I didn't want anybody to see what was going on in the background. Good old Bloody Hannah there, with a wonderful, wonderful face. Yeah, all sorts of stuff. This was a great location here, Old Stony, out in Sundance, Wyoming. I still have a little bit of sound design work to do here. But what I mean by the happy medium is, in Sundance, Wyoming, we shot here twice. And both times, it was freezing. I think we got to get in there one time when the temperature wasn't too bad. But for whatever reason, it was still so very, very, very cold in the building. All sorts of other. There's Haley, one of our other zombies. There's quite a bit that ended up getting cut out as a result of this footage back here not getting fixed. Like this shot here, you look long enough, maybe not in this particular clip that I used, but you can see cars and stuff driving in the background, which, you know, it kind of ruins the illusion of being in a post-apocalyptic world. And while some people would just kind of be like, fuck it, we'll just let it go, and, you know, we'll do this Troma style, I'm all for Troma films. I love them to death, but that was not the aesthetic that I was going for with this film. I was definitely going for something that was more dramatic and more realistic. And yeah, so that was kind of the basic gist of what happened, I guess, as far as shooting. But yeah, somebody was supposed to come in and composite all this and take all this background stuff out and replace it, not necessarily with anything fancy, but, you know, just not be able to see the moving cars and moving people and things like that. I wonder if you can even catch a glimpse of a car coming by in this clip. I haven't actually. Pretty sure this was a clean one. Yeah, that was a clean one. But the problem is that there was a lot more to the story that revolved around the mother and the daughter. And without having all the other footage in there, it changed the pacing of the movie. And so I was forced to have to do it a little differently from what I wanted to. which, that's pretty standard fare. That happens. But so as a result, this entire opening sequence, which wasn't actually supposed to be an opening sequence, I turned it into the opening sequence because it just worked better that way. This was supposed to be part of a flashback that took place later on. Now it's a flashback in the form of opening credits, and just a really quick glimpse as to what was going on. So this was another sequence that ended up getting cut down over here as a result of pacing as well. It ended up becoming similar to the opening sequence where it was a flashback. It was supposed to be a flashback anyway, but now it's like a really super fast, like, memory flashback. It was supposed to play out a lot differently. And it was supposed to give us a little more insight to the mother and daughter's relationship. Now, because we couldn't get that footage fixed the way I wanted it to, it became... it sort of transformed the story into something that I didn't want it to be, which was basically turned it into your generic, everyday zombie movie. It's still got a lot of dramatic tones to it compared to most, but that was not the goal nor the purpose. This is a great shot. I love that shot. I might add a blood spatter there. I don't know. We'll see. It happens so fast that it might not even be worth it. But, because that's a lot of effort for that. I made poor Laura run up and down that hill like 4 or 5 times for that shot. Also, we could use it for all of what, like 2 seconds? Yeah. Not very long at all. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know, that happens slow enough. I might be able to throw a blood splatter in there. I don't like using digital blood, but since we didn't have the budget and wherewithal to be able to make an actual blood splatter, that's all I would really have to work with. But there was like this, one of the things that kind of irked me about this sequence is that there's a whole other zombie thing that takes place in there. Like Shoni, a great gal, she got herself all make-upped up as a zombie and was ready to go and completely cut from the film. I'm still going to give her credit, though. I'm going to put credit at the end. But, yeah, it was... She was supposed to have a much bigger part. There was a whole lot more to that scene. This sequence, I am happy, still stayed in. I kind of had to keep it at this point because we needed to have a little bit more insight to the characters. And I
Are you okay?
Completely drowned out.
No? I don't think so. No, I'm not. I don't think I will ever be okay again.
So yeah, that's a good little sequence. I'm glad we made it into the final film. You can't say these are called subsequences here. That's why you don't see all the little clips like you see here, because they're over here. This is where they're at. And having to divide these all up and fix them up and everything it's a pretty big deal. You guys are getting a lot of the movie right now, so I'm trying not to actually just press play. I'm sure some of you would like me to just press play, but I'm not gonna. I don't want to completely ruin the movie for you. This is more for the enthusiasts that are kind of curious about it. So now basically all that's left for me to do is to put in an end credits sequence, and I believe that the Premiere has its own default special way. There we go. Angle. Look at all these different credits. That's pretty cool. But yeah, so we need to do end credits, end titles. And I was hoping that they would have a decent scrolling credits, but it's apparently they don't. So, but that's fine. I can live without it, I guess. I mean, not really. I'm gonna have to do it by hand now, which is annoying, but that's all right. That just comes with the job, right? So yeah, that's a little bit of a look inside, and I suppose I worry that this might crash, so I'm gonna go ahead and save. It has a tendency to do that to me when we do that. It's gonna do it. Oh, maybe. It didn't crash on me. Nice. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do for you guys. I'm going to let you watch this scene. This is, again, exclusive to you guys because you're awesome and you subscribe to us. So I'm going to let you watch this little dialogue exchange.
Are you okay?
No? I don't think so. No, I'm not. I don't think I will ever be okay again.
Please, we have to keep...
Nothing will ever be the same again. The roads are going to crumble. There's no more SeaWorld. There's no more Disneyland. I always wanted to go to Disneyland. I'll probably never taste a cheeseburger again. Never get dressed up and get my hair done. Never go clubbing with my friends. My friends are probably all dead, stumbling around out there, waiting to eat me. Nothing will ever be okay again.
That world is still out there. I believe we can still find it. We just have to keep on going.
Do you think?
And there you have it. There's that little nugget for you. So you guys got to see a little piece of the film. Actually, you got to see several pieces of the film, but you got to see this one in full motion. And hopefully we'll have some music for it as well very soon. But yeah, I just wanted to make sure and share a little bit of that with you guys so you get a little feeling for what it's like, what it looks like anyway. You haven't really experienced it. The Magic Time Films way of editing a movie and having to build all this up from scratch. It's an interesting process to say the least. And maybe one of these days when I have another project, another movie for you guys, I can actually record a little bit of me doing that editing. This movie is pretty much already done, so I don't really get a chance to do that with you here. But yeah, anyway, thank you guys very much for watching. I'm glad that you guys subscribe to Patreon. Make sure that you're sharing it with people. Make sure you're telling people about it. You can, like I said, you can subscribe for as little as $1. If we can get, like, our first goal actually on Patreon is $500, and if we can get $500 a month coming in, then we'll be able to produce another short film. That's one of our monthly goals. But we can't do that without people subscribing. As little as $1. You can subscribe for as little as $1. You can subscribe for more than that, and you get better perks depending on how much you subscribe for. But yeah, it's, you know, if you can get, we can get what is like 403 people to subscribe for $1. We've reached our goal. We don't have to worry about our goal anymore. I know that's probably a lot of people, and that's probably a lot of people to ask, but it definitely helps to get the word out. It definitely helps us, and it helps you guys because that means we get to create more content. And obviously we have other goals too. Like if we can get enough subscribers to, I think it's like $1,000 a month, we can do a little upgrading, a little housekeeping, and make things a little bit more official, I guess. And then we have, I think there's like a $1,500 goal, and then there's I think a $2,500 a month goal. If we can reach those, great. Then $2,500 a month basically sets it up so that we can start doing this full time, which would be great. That's the dream, to be able to do this full time, because then I can pay my bills, and I don't have to have another 3 jobs in order to do it, and then I have more time to devote to making movies like this, so that they don't take 2 years to come out. But yeah, hopefully that'll happen. But the only way it'll happen is if you guys share it and tell people about it, and just tell so many people about it that it's exhausting. Spam the hell out of them till they don't want to be your friend anymore.